Special education is a relatively new program that has been implemented into school systems, having only truly been around for the past 50 years. The first advocacy groups that push for further rights for people living with disabilities can date back to 1933, made up of parents involved in grassroots activism. According to Jane West, author of Back to School on Civil Rights, over 4.5 million children with disabilities were unable to receive proper schooling in 1970.
Special education was a new major where I went at the University of Maryland. And so I was in special education before the law was written in 1973. And so I had just some fantastic professors, and it kind of filled that wanting to be a helper, but not a nurse helper, and that's how I got into special education.
When I was in 5th grade, I helped out with a little girl with autism, Megan, in a PE class, and I signed up because I thought I would get out of PE class, but I did not. I still had to participate in every activity just with her, and we became really good friends, and we stayed friends all through middle school and high school, and I still keep in contact with her today. And so ever since then, I just told my parents I wanted to be a special ed teacher.
I started as a substitute paraprofessional, or like an assistant. A friend's mom was a special ed teacher, so I kind of got in that way. It was paid, so that's kind of the reason I did it, was just to have a job during like winter break at college, and then I actually like really liked it. And then I went back to college and changed my major to teaching.
In my high school, it was in a hallway all by itself. My friend Megan went to my high school, but I would only see her in the mornings out in the hallway. Beyond that, they went down this closed off hallway and had all their classes there, self-contained. I never saw them throughout the day.
They were separate programs. I didn't see kids with special needs very often. We didn't have like a PEPI program like Green Hope does, and I wish we really would have, because that would be something I would have liked a lot. But yeah, we didn't really have much inclusion. There were some kids who I would see throughout the day, but it wasn't as mainstreamed as it is here.
The progress that has been seen in special education is largely due to the efforts of parent-run grassroots activism. Parents began to fight for the rights of their disabled children in the mid-1900s. Legislation such as the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act of 1975, and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act in 2004 helped to ensure that the rights of children with disabilities are protected.
The Rehabilitation Act of 1973 required schools to provide accommodations and modifications for children with disabilities. The Education for All Handicapped Children Act guaranteed the right of disabled children to have access to a free education. Lastly, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act ensures that all qualifying children with disabilities have access to a free and appropriate public education.
Oh my. When I first started in special education, it really was a fledgling law, and there was a lot of pushback from school administration. My classroom I didn't have the classroom in the boiler room, but I had the classroom that was under the steps. I never had a classroom. I did finally get a single wide trailer that I had as my classroom. We had the books that were no longer in use. Just kind of whatever kind of worksheets. We didn't have a budget or anything. So starting with those few little supplies over the years, this is a Public Law 94-142 is a parent-driven law. And so over the years it has been reauthorized. But special education, passed in 1975, is different. It provides you with specially designed instruction from a special education teacher. Not only does it give you the accommodations, but also gives you a person to case manage and to personally help you. And so our special education teachers are trained in providing students with specially designed instruction. Those are the students that have IEPs, is that what an individualized education program plan? And the IEP outlines goals that the student will work on for a year, and also the accommodations, and also provides services. For instance, you might have some friends that go to a curriculum assistance class, or might go and meet with their case manager for a consultation. Those are all IEP services that they would receive.
Well, when I started teaching it, IEPs were handwritten. Like I said, the kids were very isolated. They started trying to do inclusion, where they would pull them out of self-contained and bring them into the regular classrooms for a certain subject. And now where they're blending classes, and it's not just one disability per class.
I haven't seen a lot of changes in the county-wise. Like, I think a lot is pretty much the same. But within Green Hope, my first year here, there were 3 rooms, and we were all very self-contained. We stayed in our own room with our 12 kids, taught all the subjects, and just stayed there. And so this year, we've changed it up a little bit, and that's why we do the rotations, so that all the kids get a different opportunity with different teachers. A normal day in my classroom is lots of fun, keeps me on my toes. They come in, they work on independent work in the morning, and then we have calendar where we talk about what day it is, what day tomorrow is, yesterday, the weather, things like that, how many days we've been in school.
And another.
What else? What do we do after calendar? Where do we go?
And then calendar, and then do job practice.
We go to the first class. So this year we rotate classes, and they have 1 rotation in the morning. I do a vocational class, Miss Bean does English, and Miss Jensen does math. So they're leveled by abilities, and then they switch between the 3 of us for their academics.
A normal day, I don't think there's such thing as a normal day. Everything changes quite often. We have like a schedule that we follow pretty good. The kids rotate, they go to lunch, they go to Peppy, they come back, they do more academics. But you know, some days are different than others. Sometimes the kid has a hard time and the whole schedule gets thrown off. But we kind of just go with the flow. We're flexible, make things easier for the kids and for the teachers.
My name is Grace Chaco. I'm 19 years old. I go to Green Hope High School. I'm going to college at NC State University next year. And my mom said that I'm going to NC State next year, big college. So
What are you going to do in college?
So in college, I might go to dance and have some fun.
What are you doing in class?
Oh, we're doing a class, and we're doing like math, and we're doing like reading, and we do social studies, and we do like Peppy and dance, all that stuff. And
What's Peppy? Tell me about Peppy.
so Peppy is like when you do basketball or like football
Like
or
gym class?
DJ or dance like that. Yeah. and Peppy.
It's like gym class, right? And who do we do Peppy with?
Coach Schoonover.
Coach Schoonover.
And
me.
and you, and Melanie, and Shy, and everybody in the classroom.
You want to hold it? Oh, you want me to put it on you like I put on Grace? All right, Mr. Fancy Pants. There you go. Now you can talk. What are you going to say? Who are you?
Okay.
No,
Grace?
you stop.
What's your name?
Stop.
Type.
Sai. How old are you, Sai?
The D.
How old are you? 19?
Yeah.
So, what's your name? Speak up. Look at the camera.
I am Sierra.
And how old are you, Sierra?
14.
17. Who's your best friend? Me. Who am I?
This is my pal.
Your pal. And what's a pal? Peppy. What? Tell them what Peppy is.
They go in the special classroom.
And what do we do with you guys?
Go to the gym and dance day.
Dance day. What else do we do other than dance?
We do the course.
The obstacle course. We do obstacle course. What else? We play basketball. What's your favorite thing to do in pals?
Talk about no goodies allowed.
Do your thing.
Sickle, da, 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 yeah, the goodies shot.
What's your name? Anthony. And how old are you? 16. And what's your favorite sport? Football. And what's your favorite football team? The team. The Giants. And who's your favorite player on the Giants? Becca. And what's your second favorite sport? Hockey. And what's your favorite hockey team? Hurricanes. And who's your favorite Hurricanes player? Sebastian Aho. That's right. What's your favorite part of Pepe? With me? Who am I? Cameron. Am I your Pepe? Yeah. And what do we do at Pepe? Dance and play basketball. And what about football? Okay. What's your name, Connor?
My name is Connor.
How old are you?
I am 18 years old.
When's your birthday, Connor?
When's your birthday?
My birthday is February 26th.
Most people, or I should say a lot of people, can't see past their disability. They just see their label. They don't know that they have favorite foods and colors and personalities and tempers and they just can't see past that.
I think the biggest misconception is that my kids can't do things or that they're unaware of what they're doing. I think a lot of times my kids can be very sneaky and they know exactly how to get what they want and get people to do things for them. So they'll constantly ask for help, which is great, but a lot of times they can do it themselves. And if they don't ever get practice doing it themselves, they have this thing called learned helplessness. And so I think a big misconception is that my kids just can't do anything, and they've got lots of abilities and able to be in the community and be a effective a community member.
I think a lot of people just see our kids and think that they're totally different and like we wouldn't be able to interact with them because of our differences. They'll think that they're not capable of working, they're not capable of being independent, but so many of our kids have those skills to be independent. And I mean, you guys know, you've gotten to work with our kids a little bit. Our kids are the happiest kids in the school, so anyone could come up to them and talk to them and start a conversation with them, and our kids would love it, and they remember that stuff. So I just wish more people knew that. And me. They have different personalities. Some of them are loud, and some of them are quiet. Some of them like to be around people. Some of them like to be alone. It's just like every personality is in here. Our room is so full of personality. It's unreal, as you can see, Grace.
Once they're 18, we can send them off campus to go work, and so we have different community sites. Currently I have some students going to a hotel, we have some going to a gym to clean, Dorcas thrift shop, and there's another one, but different community settings for them to do different small jobs. So at Dorcas they sort through clothes, organize jewelry, I've seen them rolling up newspapers, things like that, getting stuff ready. At the hotel I know they clean, they vacuum and get things ready like folding towels, and in the gym they clean the machines. Where do you go on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday?
Work.
Where do you work?
Work at Crabtree Hotel.
The Homewood
Hotel.
Homewood Suites.
What do you do at the hotel?
You clean the laundry, vacuum the floor, then clean the elevator, and then clean the exercise room, then clean the table and chairs.
Do you have fun going to work?
Yep.
Who do you go to work with?
On Sunday.
How do you get there?
Get Wally.
What do you ride?
The bus.
You get on a bus?
Yeah.
Tell them who you are.
Idris Abraham to go to work.
Let Sonda introduce herself.
Go ahead, Sonda.
My name is Sonda.
Tell the camera, don't tell me. I know who you are.
My name is Sonda.
Sonda.
And
you're Idris.
And to go to work with Sonda.
What do you do at work?
And
what do you do when you go to work?
To work at the hotel.
What do you do at the hotel?
Vacuuming and do windows and you do everything.
You do everything?
Yep.
In the future, states should be held responsible for the progression and protection of special education programs. The Individuals with Disabilities Act, or IDEA, lays out guidelines for these programs. Each year, states are evaluated by the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services on how well they meet these requirements. Currently, only 21 states meet these requirements according to the Office of Special Education Programs. This needs to change. States must make a greater effort to comply with IDEA so that disabled students across the country receive the help they deserve.
I think one thing is that consultation, to me, is really not a special education service. If you only need to meet with your special ed teacher one time a month for 20 minutes, you don't need special education. So there are some basic guidelines that every state has to follow, but then some of them have some additional ones. It would be easier if everyone would universally be eligible.
Good job. I think every program is different, so at other schools, there's going to be different changes. I think Green Hope does a really good job. It's a very fluid program. The kids get to move around. They get to see different teachers just like a normal high schooler would. I wish that more of our kids could go out into the community and work. We have about 3 in this class who get to go out and work, and I wish that like 6 or 7 of them were able to go out there. And that's mostly like not the program that needs to be changed. It's just like the companies and organizations outside of school that would be willing to let our kids come and visit.
I think the most effective classes are the ones that collaborate with different people. We just did a cool collaboration with an English class where they came down and helped with our kids. So just really getting them involved in the regular ed setting and known throughout the school, I think is the best possible thing to do.
Putting students with disability in the mainstream of regular education. I think typical students benefit, and I think the special education students benefit because you all are modeling for them, So if you're in a classroom and everybody has a disability, who's going to be your model? The model would be your teacher, and you know that you learn more from your peers typically than from adults, really, as a teenager. And so I think it's very beneficial to both by having students be in the regular classroom.
So I have one student that I think is definitely very in tune with her feelings and very empathetic and very aware of sometimes how she feels like maybe she doesn't socially fit in. So I do think that causes some anxiety sometimes in there, but I also feel like it has given her confidence, and she has seen that she can complete and do work just alongside the rest of her peers, and so that I think has been a positive too. So it is that balance of she knows where, she doesn't sometimes socially fit in, but she can complete the work, and finding her spot. And I think that is a challenge as a special ed teacher, is finding a spot for them and where they feel like they have a group.
The students. I think that every day, no matter what, they come to school and they're just so excited to. Go ahead, grab your coin, Alex. They're excited no matter what. Like, I'll go home and be like stressed out, or like I had a really bad day with a student, and like that like drains on me. But the next day they come to school and they're excited, and they forgot that whatever happened. So they don't hold a grudge. They're never mad at you. And I appreciate that. I'm happy to come to school the next day and see them smiling and ready to go.
My favorite part is definitely the kids. I really enjoy all the love they have to give and all the fun times, and they never make it a dull day. They always make me smile and laugh. They're always great kids. I also really enjoy just the members of our department, all the different teachers. They're really great to lean on. They've got a lot of knowledge, which I think is great.
I just think it's made me a better person. It's made me look at somebody, even if they don't have disabilities, it just makes me look at somebody past just what's on the outside.
I think they've really helped me just realize what the meaning of life is. Like, we're not here to get stressed out about daily things, just to be positive and love all the people around us.
What have you learned from working with Peppy Kids?
I've learned that not everything is as it seems, and they're a lot more intelligent. Like, they're so intelligent, they just have a harder time getting it out, but it's still in there. It's still up there in the mountain. What has Connor taught you? Connor has taught me how to communicate with people without using your words. Because there's a lot of other ways, like with facial expressions and body language and making shadows.
At the end of our time together, Mrs. Malachek shared with us a piece written by a mother of a special needs child about having a kid with a disability.
When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks, you make your wonderful plans, the Colosseum, Michelangelo, the gondolas in Venice. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands and the stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? You got it? What do you mean, Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. You must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people you would never have met. It's just a different place. It's a slower place than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, and Holland has tulips, and Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy. They're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain that of what will never, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special and very lovely things about Holland. It's a tearjerker for me.
I love you guys. I love you so much.
Just a lot. No.
You want me to take this off?
Yes.
Okay.
Good to meet people.
What?
Go away.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me start over. Cut that out. Joyce critiquing over here.